Hello. Dear soul listening now, sit with me for a moment. Take a deep breath. What if I told you that your first wrinkle is a silent poem your body wrote about a joy experienced? Skin doesn't just age, it gathers seasons. Every line is a sunbeam that touched you, every silver strand, a moonbeam that chose to linger. Wait until you discover the secret Tibetan monks reveal about the changing body. Here, in this safe space we're creating together. Breathe deeply, once, again. Release the breath slowly. Perhaps you looked in the mirror today or yesterday and noticed something. A new line on your face, a silver thread in your hair, maybe a different kind of tiredness in your body at the end of the day, or an energy that flows differently. Perhaps you felt a sense of nostalgia, a longing for a version of yourself that seems left behind in time. This is what we'll talk about today, with an open heart and without judgment. About this home we inhabit, our body, and how it dances with time, how it transforms inevitably, gently, sometimes more noticeably, how it tells our story in every mark, every curve, every new sensation. And the question that pulses within us, perhaps within you right now, is how can we continue to love this home? How can we find beauty not despite the changes, but through them? How can we weave threads of genuine self-esteem, deep spiritual connection, and immense compassion into this process of aging, this process of living? The world out there sometimes sings a persistent song about eternal youth, doesn't it? As if a flower is only beautiful in bud and not in its full bloom, or even when its petals begin to curl, holding the sun of so many seasons. As if a lived history doesn't hold immeasurable value. But here, in our space, we will listen to another melody, the melody of your own soul, of your history written on your skin, of the wisdom that only time brings. Together, let's explore how to embrace each phase with grace, with acceptance, and yes, with love. A love that comes from within, that doesn't depend on the mirror, but reflects in it with greater truth. And before we dive deeper, on this journey we'll take side by side. I want to tell you something important. If this topic resonates with you, if you feel this conversation might warm your heart, watch the video until the end. I have a good feeling about what we'll discover together, and I want to give you some good news. If you like this video and comment, YouTube will better understand what touches your soul and recommend more content like this, bringing comfort and clarity. It's a way we can care for this space and what reaches you together. It's a small gesture that connects us even more. So, take another deep breath and allow yourself to be here, present. Let's begin to unravel together how to love this changing body, because it is the sacred stage of your existence. Do you remember? Perhaps the first time a silver strand shone under the light, almost like a forgotten moonbeam in your hair, or that fine line around your eyes which only appears when you smile widely. A map of your joys. Maybe it's a different sensation in your knees climbing stairs, or the need for a little more silence to recharge your energy. These small signs, these gentle messages from time, sometimes catch us by surprise, don't they? They can bring a tightness in the chest, a pang of nostalgia for smoother skin, for an agility that seemed endless. Comparison might arise, that inner whisper measuring us against the past, or against images we see around us. It's human to feel this. It's perfectly normal. Let me say it again. You are not alone in this. This feeling of unfamiliarity, of grieving for a version that has passed, it's part of the journey. Imagine for a moment a tree. A magnificent tree, the kind that seems to hold the secrets of time in its trunk. When young, its bark was smooth, its branches thin and flexible, eagerly seeking the sun. With the passing seasons, winds, rains, and intense suns, its bark thickened, gained deep grooves, perhaps scars from lost branches. Its limbs became sturdy, some may have broken, but others reached even higher, offering shade and shelter. Did this tree stop being beautiful, or did its beauty simply transform? It became a different kind of beauty, one that speaks of resilience, history, accumulated strength. Each ring inside its trunk isn't a sign of loss, but a testament to another cycle lived, more life absorbed and transformed. So it is with our bodies. These changes you notice, they aren't signs that something is wrong. They are the rings of your tree. They are the marks of your journey, the skin that transforms, the hair that changes color, the energy that asks for a different rhythm. All of this tells the story of your seasons, your storms, and your sunny days. I know it can be difficult sometimes to look at these changes without feeling a weight, the frustration, the longing. Welcome these feelings too. They are like passing clouds in the sky of your awareness. Don't fight them, just observe them pass. With the same gentleness you would offer a sad child. We are not talking about decline. We are talking about transformation. A new phase with its own beauty, with different challenges, yes, but also with a depth that only experience can bring. Breathe into this truth for a moment. My body changes like the growing tree. Each mark is a testament to the life flowing through me. The body is a tree that tells time without hurry, and each scar is a branch that survived the winter. Think of the branches you lost, and how many still flourish. Your body, like this tree, is not less beautiful. It is more true. But what if the marks you try to hide were actually portals to your soul? And so, after acknowledging the dance of time in our bodies, after welcoming the emotions that arise like waves, how can we begin to water the seeds of our self-esteem? How can we nurture a love for ourselves that isn't shaken by every new line in the mirror, by every transformation life presents? We live immersed in a world that often hands us a ready-made script for what beauty should look like, don't we? A mold that is frequently narrow, almost always focused on youth. An ideal that, by its very nature, is fleeting. And it's so easy, so human, to fall into the trap of measuring our own worth by this external ruler. To feel that if we no longer fit that standard, we've lost something essential, something precious. Have you ever felt that way? As if your value were tied to the firmness of your skin or the absence of silver hairs? Take a deep breath with me. Remember, with all my heart I tell you, you are not alone in this feeling. It's a real pressure, almost like a mist, hanging in the air. But it's also a collective illusion that we can, together, learn to navigate and challenge with kindness and clarity. Imagine for a moment a vase, a ceramic vase, perhaps one you love, made by an artisan's hands. When new, it was smooth, maybe shiny, perfect in its newly created form. But over time, with daily use, from holding colorful flowers, feeling cool water inside, being touched by careful hands, moved from place to place, perhaps it gained small marks, a slight wear on the rim where the flowers rested, maybe even a fine crack repaired with care, telling the silent story of a small incident and the care that followed. Did this vase lose its value? Or do these marks, this patina that time has gently deposited on it, actually reveal its history, its authenticity, the life it contained and witnessed? Could its beauty also reside, perhaps primarily, in its capacity to be a vase, to fulfill its sacred function of holding, serving, beautifying the space around it, regardless of the untouched perfection of its surface? There's a Japanese art form called Kintsugi. Have you heard of it? It involves repairing broken pottery using lacquer mixed with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. The philosophy behind it is that the object's history, including its breaks and repairs, is part of its beauty, and the golden scars should not be hidden, but celebrated. Imperfection becomes a highlight, a unique signature, a form of art. Your body, this body you inhabit, is that precious vase. Perhaps it no longer has the flawless gleam of youth in the superficial eyes of the world. But I invite you to look beyond, to feel the life it contains, to honor the journey it has made possible. Think for a moment about everything it has allowed you to do, feel, live, experience. These hands, which may now show more veins or spots that tell stories of the sun. How many times have they caressed those you love? How many nourishing meals have they prepared? How much honest work have they done? How many tears, yours and others, have they gently wiped away? These feet, which might carry you along paths a little more slowly today? How many miles of life have they already walked? How many dances have celebrated joy? How many times have they kept you steady, anchored to the earth, even when the ground seemed to shake? This body, with all its transformations, with all its invisible Kintsugi marks, is the sacred vessel of your soul in this earthly experience. It is living proof of your incredible resilience, your quiet strength, your echoing laughter, your triumphs, whose depth only you know. Start, perhaps today, to talk to it with more tenderness. Replace the voice of inner criticism with the melody of gratitude. When a negative thought about your appearance arises, try gently replacing it with sincere acknowledgement. Thank you, beloved body, for allowing me to feel the warmth of the sun on my skin today. Thank you, eyes, for showing me the colors of the world. Thank you, heart, for continuing to pulse the rhythm of life within me. Small whispers of gratitude that, repeated with intention, can transform the landscape of our inner perception. And allow yourself to discover or rediscover the profound beauty that blossoms with maturity. The wisdom that accumulates not as weight, but as precious pearls at the bottom of the ocean of your consciousness. The radiant authenticity of someone who no longer feels the need to wear masks or prove their worth to the world. The serenity of one who has learned to honor their own rhythms, their cycles of energy and rest. This too is beauty. A beauty that doesn't depend on filters or favorable lighting, because it radiates from a much deeper place, from the inside out. Always remember, dear soul, breathe this truth into every cell of your being. My worth is not in an untouched surface. It resides in the unique story my body tells and the flame of life that pulses tirelessly within me. In Japanese philosophy, a broken object isn't discarded. It's elevated, its cracks filled with gold. What if your skin didn't need to be smooth to be beautiful? What if your story lies precisely in the parts that tried to break you? You are not the vase before the fall. You are the vase after, when care became art. Prepare yourself. We will now descend into the sacred temple you carry within. We've talked about acknowledging changes honestly. We've talked about nurturing self-esteem with the delicacy of gratitude, like repairing a precious vase with gold. But what if? What if we could go even deeper? What if we could touch that part of us that observes all this, that feels the nostalgia, that feels the gratitude, but which, in its purest essence, does not change with time? Who are you? Beyond the skin, the bones, the hair. Who is this silent presence that inhabits this body, that looks through these eyes, that hears these words right now? I know these are big questions, questions that echo in the corridors of the soul. But we don't need complex answers. Sometimes the answer lies in the feeling itself, in the stillness that arises when we stop identifying solely with the physical form. Think of your body as a temple, a sacred, unique, and irreplaceable temple, built especially for you on this earthly journey. A living temple that breathes, that feels, that moves. Over the years, the walls of this temple may show signs of time. The paint might fade a bit here and there. Perhaps some cracks appear, telling stories of winds and rains. The structure might need different kinds of care. But what about the sacred space inside the temple? That place of silence where light enters, where the divine presence, call it consciousness, spirit, life, love, the name matters less than the feeling, resides? Does this inner space age? Does it get wrinkles? Does it lose its value when the outer walls show the passage of time? Or could it be that this inner space, this essence that you are, remains untouched, vast, luminous, like the sky that holds all clouds, all storms, and all the sun's brilliance without ever being diminished or altered by them? When we begin to relate to our body not as who we are, but as the temporary and precious home of our essence, something magical can happen. The pressure to keep the temple walls impeccable, as if forever new, begins to lessen. The focus shifts from the facade to the sacred flame burning on the inner altar. We start honoring the temple not just for its appearance, but for its sacred function, allowing our light to shine in this world, allowing us to experience the beauty and challenges of human life. How can we connect with this essence, this inner space? It doesn't require complex rituals unless they serve you. Often it begins with the simple act of stopping and breathing consciously, feeling the air enter and leave, feeling the gentle pulse of life within you, noticing the stillness that exists beneath the constant flow of thoughts and physical sensations. Maybe it's closing your eyes for a moment during the day and asking, what is here now, beyond my thoughts about my body? Maybe it's walking in nature and feeling the same life force that animates the trees and birds pulsing within you. Maybe it's through meditation, silent prayer, or simply sitting in silence and allowing yourself to be without the need to do or fix anything. The spiritual perspective also invites us to embrace the truth of impermanence. Everything in form is in constant flux, constant change, the seasons, the tides, the stars. And yes, our bodies too. Recognizing this doesn't have to be frightening. It can be liberating. If everything is impermanent, then each present moment becomes infinitely precious. Each breath, each sensation, each connection is a unique gift. Aging, seen in this light, is not a loss of what was, but a continuous unfolding of the mystery of life, moment by moment. So, when worry about the changing body arises, take a deep breath and remember, with your whole being, I am the silent presence inhabiting this temple. I honor my body as the sacred home of my soul, but my true essence transcends form and time. There is something in you that does not age, a silent presence, still untouched by time. Alan Watts might say, we are the space between thoughts. You are the sky, not the clouds passing through. You are the eternal observer behind the mirror. If this touched you, wait until we discover the secret weapon against self-criticism, radical compassion. Take a deep breath with me once more. Feel the air filling your lungs, and as you release it, also release for a moment any weight of self-judgment you might be carrying about your body, about the changes you perceive. Be honest with yourself here, in this safe space. How often is that inner voice harsh? How often does it point a finger at the line that appeared, the skin that's no longer the same, the energy that fluctuates, with a criticism you would never use toward someone you love? How often do you become your own harshest judge? Oh, dear soul, this harshness towards yourself, it's so common, so painfully common. But it doesn't have to be your final truth. Remember, always, always, you are not alone in this inner struggle. But there is a gentler path, a path of immense healing and liberation, the path of self-compassion. Imagine a very dear friend, someone you love deeply, comes to you with a heavy heart. They share, voice trembling, their insecurities about their own aging body, their fears, their frustrations. They feel inadequate, perhaps less valuable, because of these changes. What would you do? Would you point out their flaws more forcefully? Would you say harsh, critical words that would make them feel even worse? Or would you welcome them? Perhaps offer a tight hug, a look full of tenderness. Maybe say words of comfort, reminding them of their incredible qualities, their strength, the beauty of their journey. how much they are loved exactly as they are. Would you remind them that this experience is human, shared, and that they don't have to go through it alone? Now, take a deep breath and bring that same energy, that same tenderness, that same unconditional kindness inward to yourself. Self-compassion is exactly that. It's offering yourself the same kindness, the same care, the same understanding you would instinctively offer a dear friend in suffering. It's recognizing that feeling uncomfortable with changes, having difficult days, feeling vulnerable. All of this is part of being human. It's not a sign of weakness or failure. It's an invitation for kindness. When the critical voice arises, try to notice it without merging with it, and then, consciously, choose to respond with the voice of compassion. Perhaps placing a hand gently over your heart and saying internally, "I know this is hard right now. I know you're feeling pain or fear or frustration. It's okay to feel this. I am here with you. I welcome you with kindness." Treat your perceived imperfections not as flaws to be fixed at all costs, but as part of your human story, worthy of care and respect. Like the marks on the vase repaired with gold in Kintsugi, they tell a story of life, resilience, humanity. And the beauty of this is that when we start practicing this radical kindness towards ourselves, something magical happens. Our capacity to feel compassion for others expands naturally. We begin to look at the people around us, our parents, our friends, strangers on the street, and recognize, they are on this journey too. They also have their insecurities, their pains, their bodies telling stories of time and life. Judgment, both internal and external, begins to lose its power. It's replaced by a sense of connection, of shared humanity. We realize we are all navigating the same river of time, each in our own boat, facing the currents and seeking the sunlight. This realization unites us, builds bridges where there were once walls. We can even inspire each other to live with more acceptance and less fear. So let compassion be the balm you apply generously to your own wounds and the gift you offer the world. Remember this gentle truth. With the same kindness I offer to those I love, I welcome myself in every phase. We are all travelers worthy of compassion and love. Would you treat a dear friend with the harshness you treat yourself? According to Kristen Neff, a pioneer in self-compassion, treating yourself with kindness isn't selfishness. It's emotional courage. It's the first step to healing the inner war. The journey doesn't end here. What if the secret isn't changing the body, but changing how we inhabit it? All that we've discussed about loving the changing body, about finding peace in the journey, might sound beautiful in words, but how do we bring this feeling into our daily lives, into the moments between waking and sleeping? How do we transform intention into loving action? It's not about adding more tasks to an already long list, dear soul. Quite the opposite. It's about infusing the moments that already exist with a little more awareness, a little more tenderness, small acts of care, like tending a precious garden, not out of obligation, but out of love for the flowers that can bloom there. First, think about basic care for your body, not as a battle against time, but as an act of reverence for this sacred temple. Nourishment. How about choosing foods that bring you vitality and pleasure, savoring each bite as a gift? No rigid rules, but with the intention of nourishing the life pulsing within you. Movement. Find ways to move your body that bring you joy, not exhaustion. A walk feeling the sun on your skin, a gentle stretch in the morning, dancing in the living room to your favorite music. Movement as a celebration of your ability to feel and express, not as punishment or an attempt to mold your body to an external ideal. Rest. Honor your body's need for rest. Allow yourself pauses, restorative nights of sleep, moments of quiet. Resting isn't laziness, it's wisdom. It's allowing the temple to restore itself. Look at the act of getting dressed. How about choosing clothes that embrace you comfortably, allow you to move freely, and express who you are now. Clothes that make you feel good in your own skin, regardless of the number on the tag. Free yourself from the tyranny of trends or pieces that no longer serve you, physically or energetically. Getting dressed can be a daily act of self-affirmation and joy. Try moments of body mindfulness. A few times a day, take a short pause. Close your eyes if possible, and just feel your body, feel your feet on the ground, your breath moving your abdomen, the temperature of your skin. Without judging, without analyzing, just feeling. It's a gentle return home to your physical presence, a reminder that you are alive here and now. Find ways to express what's going on inside. If difficult feelings about bodily changes arise, allow them a safe voice, perhaps by writing in a journal without filters, as if confiding in a trusted friend, or maybe through painting, dancing, music. Any form of creative expression that allows emotion to flow without being dammed up. Fifth, be mindful of what you consume with your eyes and ears. Notice how you feel when consuming certain media, especially those glorifying unrealistic ideals of youth and perfection. If you find they bring you down, make you comparative or anxious, how about gently limiting your exposure? Choose to nourish your mind with content that uplifts you, inspires you, and reminds you of the real diverse beauty of the human experience. You have the power to choose what enters your field of awareness. And lastly, but perhaps most importantly, celebrate the small victories. Celebrate the day you looked in the mirror with a little more kindness. Celebrate the walk that brought you well-being. Celebrate the moment you chose self-compassion over self-criticism. Celebrate the simple feeling of being alive. Acknowledge these moments, however small they seem. They are the true jewels of the journey. Remember, dear soul, it's not about perfection. There will be easier days and more challenging days. The invitation is for gentle, consistent, and above all, compassionate practice. Every small step counts. Every act of tenderness towards yourself is a seed of love that will blossom. In every small gesture of care, I reaffirm my love and respect for my journey and my body. Every small gesture of self-love is an open petal in the garden of the soul. We don't need revolutions, we need gentle rituals. Drinking water as a blessing, choosing clothes like hugs, breathing as if the air says, you deserve to be here. Your body is sacred, your time is precious, your presence is a living miracle. And so, we reach the end of our time together for today. Breathe deeply. Feel the stillness of this moment, the presence we've shared, even across the distance. We've walked together through an intimate landscape, haven't we? We looked at the body's changes, not with fear, but with the curiosity of one observing the seasons change in nature. We recognize the beauty that resides not in static perfection, but in the living history each mark tells, like the gold filling the cracks of a beloved vase, Kintsugi. We remembered that we are more than the physical temple. We are the sacred flame burning within it, the vast, silent consciousness witnessing the passage of time without aging. And above all, we learn to offer ourselves the tenderest of medicines, compassion, that radical kindness that welcomes us on our difficult days and connects us to one another in our shared humanity. Loving the changing body, loving yourself anyway, is not a final destination to be reached, but a continuous dance. A dance between acceptance and care, between recognition and transcendence. It's the delicate integration of self-esteem that comes from within, spirituality that connects us to the essential, and compassion that softens all edges. Yes, change is the only constant in life. The body transforms, circumstances shift, seasons come and go. This is inevitable, like the river flowing to the sea. But the suffering because of this change, the resistance, the self-criticism, the sense of loss, that, dear soul, is optional. We have the power in every moment to choose a different response, to choose kindness, to choose gratitude, to choose love. Don't see aging as closing doors, but as opening new windows with different views, perhaps more serene, more profound. It's an invitation to blossom in a new way, with the colors of wisdom, authenticity, and inner peace that only the lived journey can give us. Like a flower that doesn't mourn the loss of the bud, but celebrates the fullness of its petals open to the sun, even when they begin to show the gentle beauty of time. Allow yourself to embrace this phase of your life and all those to come with curiosity instead of fear, with tenderness instead of judgment, with immense gratitude for the precious gift of being alive, breathing, feeling, learning, loving, right now. Exercises to start right now. Thank your body. Say internally, thank you feet for supporting me. Thank you skin for protecting me. Gratitude is a balm. Create small self-care rituals, a mindful bath, stretching with music, a moment of silence at dusk. Look at yourself in the mirror more gently. Find something you love about yourself and praise it as if speaking to an old friend. Practice self-compassion daily. Place a hand on your heart and say, "It's okay, I accept myself. I deserve love." And before we say goodbye, I invite you to one last gesture, a gift to yourself. Today, or as soon as you finish listening, what small step of self-compassion or gratitude for your body can you take? Maybe it's just placing a hand on your heart and saying, "Thank you." Maybe it's looking in the mirror and finding one detail to appreciate. Maybe it's allowing yourself 5 minutes of conscious rest. Choose something small, something simple, and do it with all your heart. It's in this small gesture that transformation begins to bloom. Questions for reflection. No immediate answers needed, just presence. What marks on your body tell a special story about your life? Perhaps a childhood scar, a birthmark, or the look in your eyes that has changed over time. How can you practice self-compassion today, offering yourself the same kindness you would give a friend? What words of comfort do you need to hear right now and can offer yourself tenderly? How can you transform an ordinary moment of your day into an act of love and care for your body? Perhaps savoring tea mindfully, choosing clothes that feel like a hug, or simply resting without guilt. If this message touched something in you, comment with a simple, "I celebrate my story." This isn't just for engagement. It's a collective echo of healing. It's you saying, "I am here, and I choose to love myself, even in transformation." May you walk through life with a light heart, awakened awareness, and a gentle love for yourself that radiates to everyone around you. May you always remember the unique beauty of your journey inscribed in every cell of your being. You are a precious expression of life. Never forget that. If you liked this video and resonated with the message, please leave a like, share it with your friends, and write in the comments, "I celebrate my story." Simple as that. A small gesture, but full of meaning. An echo of self-love reverberating in the world. Want to deepen this journey even further? Discover my exclusive ebook, Celebrate Your Story. There you'll find practical exercises and deep reflections to help you love your body in every phase of life, cultivate genuine self-esteem, transform self-care into a ritual of reconnection. The link is in the first pinned comment and in the description below. And remember, there are 2 more videos like this waiting for you on the screen. Each video was created with care to inspire you to live a more conscious, fulfilling, and loving life. Click on one and continue walking with us. You are not alone. You are precious. You are part of this sacred dance of time. With all my warmth, until next time, be at peace, beautiful soul.